Welcome to English Research. Dive into the realm where curiosity and language unite. Every question leads to discovery, and every discovery opens a door. Get ready to explore, learn, and be inspired. Your adventure begins now. Once upon a time, after the United States won its independence, the young nation needed a home for its president. In 1790, Congress passed the Residence Act, deciding a new capital city would be built along the Potomac River. President George Washington chose the exact location, but he never lived in the house himself. The design for the president's house was chosen through a competition and created by James Hoban, an Irish-born architect. Construction began in 1792 on a site called Jenkins Hill, now known as White House Hill. The building was originally called the President's Palace, or the Executive Mansion. It took 8 years to complete, and President John Adams was the first to live in it in 1800. The house was built with white-painted Aquia Creek sandstone, which gave it its iconic look. However, the early years were tough for the White House. In 1814, during the War of 1812, British troops invaded Washington, D.C. They set fire to the Capitol and the Executive Mansion, severely damaging the president's home. The White House was almost destroyed, but was quickly rebuilt and restored. President James Monroe moved back in by 1817, giving it the nickname the White House. Over time, the house was expanded and improved, including the addition of the West Wing in 1901 under President Theodore Roosevelt. The West Wing houses the Oval Office, the president's official workspace. The White House became a symbol of American leadership and democracy. It witnessed critical moments in history. Presidents made decisions about wars, civil rights, and international diplomacy within its walls. During times of crisis and celebration, the White House has been the center of the nation's attention. Its importance is more than just a building. It represents the power and responsibility of the U.S. presidency. Today, the White House is both a home and a working office for the president and their family. It also serves as a museum of American history, filled with art and artifacts. Not everyone can visit the White House freely. Tours are available, but require advance requests through a member of Congress. Foreign leaders, dignitaries, and guests are welcomed in official ceremonies and state dinners. The White House continues to be a living symbol of the American people and their government. From its humble beginnings to its standing as an icon of freedom and leadership, the story of the White House is the story of America itself. As decades passed, each president left a unique mark on the White House. President Abraham Lincoln lived here during the nation's darkest time, the Civil War. In the White House, he made historic decisions to preserve the Union and end slavery. Lincoln often walked the halls alone, carrying the heavy weight of a divided country on his shoulders. In the early 20th century, President Theodore Roosevelt transformed the White House into a modern executive center. He moved his offices to the newly built West Wing, making the residence more private. Roosevelt also started the tradition of the White House being a place for not just living but active governing. President Franklin D. Roosevelt faced the Great Depression and World War II from the White House. He created the fireside chats, speaking directly to Americans via radio to inspire hope. Under his leadership, the White House became a hub of global strategy and recovery plans. During the Cold War, presidents like John F. Kennedy used the White House as a command post for tense moments like the Cuban Missile Crisis. Kennedy's youthful energy and charisma brought new life to the historic halls. The White House also saw its share of tragedy and scandal. In 1972, it was targeted during the Watergate scandal, which eventually led to President Richard Nixon's resignation. This event reminded the nation that even the highest office is accountable to the people. In recent years, presidents have used the White House to promote social change and technology. Barack Obama became the first African-American president to live here, symbolizing progress in American history. He also introduced the White House to the digital age with social media and public engagement online. Despite all changes, the White House remains a carefully guarded and protected site. It is surrounded by fences, security personnel, and the U.S. Secret Service to keep its occupants safe. The White House stands not only as a home or workplace, but as a global symbol of democracy and freedom. Millions around the world watch events here closely, knowing the decisions made affect all nations. It welcomes dignitaries from every continent and hosts historic summits, treaties, and celebrations. Visitors who get the rare chance to tour the White House walk through rooms filled with stories. The East Room, where presidents give speeches. The Lincoln Bedroom, honoring a leader who saved the nation. The Rose Garden, where new policies are announced. And the State Dining Room, where world leaders break bread in friendship. The White House continues to inspire artists, writers, and dreamers worldwide. Its history is a never-ending story of leadership, challenge, and hope. And so, the White House stands tall, an enduring symbol of America's past, present, and future. In January 2017, Donald Trump stepped into the White House as the 45th President of the United States. His arrival brought a new style of leadership, marked by bold communication and unorthodox approaches. From the start, Trump focused on shaking up Washington politics and delivering on his campaign promises. He pushed for major tax reform, which resulted in the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act of 2017, aimed at lowering taxes for businesses and individuals. This law was one of the most significant changes to the U.S. tax code in decades. President Trump prioritized deregulation, rolling back many federal rules he believed slowed economic growth. He believed this would spur job creation and help American industries thrive. On trade, Trump took a tough stance. He renegotiated agreements like NAFTA, replacing it with the United States-Mexico-Canada Agreement, USMCA, to better protect American workers and businesses. He also engaged in a high-profile trade dispute with China to push for fairer trade practices. Trump's White House also focused heavily on immigration policy, tightening borders and enforcing stricter rules. He aimed to reduce illegal immigration and increase security, which sparked nationwide debate. In foreign policy, Trump made historic moves. He brokered the Abraham Accords, which normalized relations between Israel and several Arab nations, an important step toward Middle East peace. He also met with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, marking the first time a sitting U.S. president met a North Korean leader, opening new diplomatic channels. Despite controversies and intense political battles, President Trump's administration saw a strong economy before the COVID-19 pandemic hit. Unemployment rates reached historic lows, and the stock market experienced significant gains. When the pandemic arrived, Trump's White House launched Operation Warp Speed, a public-private partnership to accelerate vaccine development. This effort helped deliver COVID-19 vaccines in record time, saving countless lives. Throughout his presidency, Donald Trump's time in the White House was marked by deep divisions, but also by undeniable impact. He reshaped policies on taxes, trade, and diplomacy, leaving a legacy that continues to influence American politics. As he left the White House in January 2021, the nation faced challenges but also carried forward many of the economic and diplomatic shifts his administration began. In the story of the White House, Donald Trump's chapter stands as a reminder of bold leadership and a willingness to break the mold, a testament to the enduring spirit of America's democracy, where every president's tenure adds to the nation's evolving story. If you enjoy the video, please like, subscribe, and share.